That time of the week again, it's the Welsh Rugby Show, your roundup of the Pro 14 action for the 4 Welsh regions. So if you do enjoy, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year of 2018. So if you can do that, subscribe down below. It's free to do. Hit that red button. Let me know in the comments as well what you think about the action, and as well like that video. We're going to start though with the Ospreys playing down at Bridgend Brewery Field, first time in quite a few years doing that, and they won in amazing style, beating Connacht 22-17. This is our feature game this week. We're going to look in depth on this, and then we're going to quickly cover the Scarlets, Dragons and Blues. The match, of course, as I said, was played at Bridgend, which I thought was a fantastic thing to do, and a really good crowd. I think over 5,000 people there, nearly double what they get down at the Liberty. Maybe something to look out, getting a smaller stadium. I, as an Ospreys fan, is in massive favour of seeing that happen. I would love to see that happen. The only Welsh international playing for the Ospreys was Dan Lydiard, who was released from the Welsh squad, having a little niggling injury, but did play 80 minutes. So will he go back to the camp? I'm not too sure, but it was good to see him and some experience in the side. But Ospreys started brilliantly. Keelan Giles, his third game in only 12 months because of an injury. He got a brace right at the start, and the second was really well worked with Sam Davis's grubber kick. The Connacht fullback missed the ball and Giles went over. And what a start it was for the Ospreys. Connacht, though, did start to put the pressure on, but a very strange decision from their fly half. Their fly half, closely, he was about 5 yards out, men on the outside, overlap, and he went for a drop kick. It wasn't the best drop kick, it was points on the board, but a very strange decision, and this kind of rounded up Connacht's approach to the match. But then a really bad mistake from Rob McCusker, a high tackle from him, and he's off for 10 minutes. It was unnecessary, it just didn't need to be there, and for Rob McCusker to do this, well, he kind of let the team down, and I don't personally rate him as a player. I don't like him, I don't think he should be at the Ospreys, but it's straight off. And when he came back on, he was giving away more penalties. It was as if he wanted to get sent off. He was asking the ref, please send me off, I'm giving you enough reasons to send me off. Now Ospreys was 17-3 up at this point, but Connacht came back, and I knew they would, but I didn't expect it to get this bad. Bundyaki and Butler both went over for them, and it all looked set to be a 17-all draw. But Sam Davis feeding Corey Allen a lovely ball. He breaks through, he gets to the try line, he goes to put it down and he drops it. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what have you done? What an opportunity you have, but we've dropped it. But Dan Evans picked it up and jumped over, but I thought it's a knock on and it's not going to be a try. But the TMO double checked, and it's the Connacht man who had knocked the ball out of Corey Allen's hand backwards, and so Dan Evans picking the ball up and going over to score counted, and so the Ospreys won 22-17. So how would I round up this performance from the Ospreys? Really positive to see the win, of course. Great start. Keelan Giles in form. Hopefully we'll see him in a red shirt soon. But again, very frustrated by the ill discipline. There's a lot of stats out there that I'm going to put across the screen now. Penalties conceded, just ridiculous numbers of penalties. Rob McCusker's yellow card, I thought he had a pretty poor game in the whole game. And just the way we let it slip, down from 17-3 up, back to 17-all, and Connacht had opportunities to win it. A drop goal at the end, they missed it, that would have sealed the game. But a great result for the Ospreys, and down at Bridgend, thank you for the welcome for us Ospreys fans. It was brilliant to see. Also, got to mention Harry Morgan, the scrum half, a great performance from him. Seen him play under 20 for Wales, and I was very impressed at what he could do on the pitch. So a great afternoon for the Ospreys. Let's have a look at how the Scarlets managed to get on against the Kings. So the Scarlets had to fight back to win out in South Africa. 10 try fest in South Africa. Scarlets were there without 20 of their players injured or on international duty. But the Scarlets at first struggled with the basics, tackling. Loads of missed tackles, which was very strange to see from the Scarlets. Lots and lots of missed tackles. But the Scarlets got tries from David Hughes, Will Boyd, Ian Nicholas, Werner Kruger, Kieran Hardy and Taylor Davis as well. But I think we have to give honourable mentions to the opposition. The Kings actually played really well in that first half. Really impressed me. And their standout player was their fullback Banda, who was incredible and got 19 points for the Kings. Now, I'm not going to go into the tries in too much details. You probably have seen the match already. But I just want to look at the squad depth of the Scarlets in particular. This win against the Kings, yes, the Kings are not the strongest team. I would actually say I think they're stronger than the Cheetahs this year. Last year it was the other way around. But Scarlets, their squad depth is something else. It is really impressive. And it's amazing that they can go out to South Africa. They're losing. They're such an inexperienced side. They're losing the match, but they managed to get it back and win the game. It's an incredible statement for the Scarlets. They remain second in their conference. And as I said, the squad depth, it can only be a good thing. I mean, they're missing 20 players, injured or out with Wales, or Fonetty, of course, was suspended for this match. But a great result for the Scarlets out in South Africa. I was watching it and I thought it was over at half time. I didn't see the Scarlets coming back and winning it, but they did, and they did it in style. So Scarlets get the win, 41-34. Two teams so far have got the wins. How did the Dragons do against Ulster? Let's find out now. So could it be 3 regions out of 3? Could the Dragons do the impossible, head over to Ulster and win? No. No, they couldn't. But they did put up a good effort, but it just wasn't enough, going down 36 points to 18. A big inclusion for the Dragons was Jason Tovey's return, on loan, of course, at the Dragons. Back there for his 3rd spell, I believe. And he now is the 5th highest point kicker in the Pro 14. A great achievement for him. I was very loyal to the Dragons. It was great to see him back in a Dragons shirt. And as I said, they showed some positive signs throughout. Hugh Taylor got a try for Dragons on his Pro 14 debut, while Jared Sage also scored. But Ulster just had too much for them, and Ulster are a class side. And the problem was they were down 17-3 at one point, and 10 points in the first 12 minutes. You're just putting pressure on yourself, and the likelihood of the Dragons coming back against the team of Ulster's calibre, while missing the likes of Moriarty and Wainwright, it was going to be a tough afternoon for the Dragons. And I need to address something about the Dragons. I, on this show, have tried to show favour towards the Dragons. I like the Dragons, I feel sorry for them sometimes, but I see some positive signs, and there's been talks about Bernard Jackman possibly being sacked over the past 2 weeks or so. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? Should he be gone? Should he still be there? Should he get the investment that he deserves? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be eager to hear what you guys want to say about that. But it's the away form we need to talk about. They have not won away in the league since March 2015. March 2015. This year they've only won 2 games so far. They're really struggling. Moriarty going to the Dragons was really exciting at the time, but he's a one man, he's a number 8. He's not going to get you 10, 15 tries a season, is he? It's going to be a tough season for the Dragons, and this team is very, very young. I would love to see them being able to get a lot of money, a lot of investment in, and go and sign some great players. But being in when Gavin Henson is 36, and these other players who are just not the player that they were maybe 5-6 years ago, it's not going to work for the Dragons. I don't know what the answer is for the Dragons. Let me know in the comments below if you know what the answer is. But they did go down against Ulster. But as I said, some positive signs. But it's always going to be tough when you're 17 points down to 3. That's been a big thing in Welsh Pro 14 teams recently. Last weekend in the Champions Cup, the Ospreys were down, Blues were down. It just makes it tough for you, doesn't it? But could Cardiff redeem the Welsh teams? Could we get 3 out of 4 teams to win and you'd back them against the Cheetahs? But no, they lost against the Cheetahs. 2 tries from Max Swane, who I was very impressed with. Really talented player coming from the 7 circuits, and Venter, the scrum half, as well. While Manoa got a try for Cardiff on his league debut. I've got to say, I was very disappointed with the Blues. Really basic mistakes, simple things going wrong, missed tackles. They would get into really good positions and then just lose it at the end. It was poor work and really came down to communication, I felt. There wasn't enough communication between the backs and the forwards. It just was a bit of a horror show. Of course, the likes of Gareth Anscombe were missing and a few other forwards on Wales duties. But as I said, just ill-disciplined throughout the match. People like Nick Williams weren't starting. I couldn't understand such a young team. And you're not starting someone so experienced and so important and integral to the side. I thought he should have started. Matthew Morgan at fullback really struggled. We remember 2 years ago when people were saying he should be starting for Wales at fullback. I must be honest, I'm glad he's not in the Welsh team, because tonight he just couldn't catch any high balls. Pressure being put on him and he just couldn't deal with it. Credit due to the Cheetahs, they came out firing out of the blocks, and Venter got the try. McSwaney got a try from an opportunity where the Blues should have scored themselves, but lost it in the maul, and McSwaney runs the length of the pitch, and it's a try for the Cheetahs. And as I said, missed tackles was a big thing. 14 missed tackles from the Blues, who usually pride themselves on their pack and the power in the pack as well. 14 missed tackles is pretty poor from the Blues. So the Blues went down 21-10, so we got 2 teams out of 4, so not bad this week. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? So a poor performance from the Cardiff Blues. But that wraps up this week's Welsh Rugby Show. Next Saturday, Wales against Scotland. I will be at the match, vlogging it. So that will be out on Saturday evening / Sunday morning. So do subscribe so you don't miss that one. Hit the red button down below. It's free to do. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. And if you are at the match, say hello to me if you see me around Cardiff. Pro 14 Weekly will be out shortly, looking at the rest of the action from the Pro 14, so do check that out when it's out. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. It's only a week to go until the game. Peace.